Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Huge congratulations goes out to John Jewett, who was the winner of yesterday's Vancouver Pro. John is headed back to the Mr. Olympia, but this time as a men's open bodybuilder. As we know, John is a former 212 competitor. So let's take a brief look at the top 4 comparison from yesterday's Vancouver Pro. So in second place, we had a very good version of Tim Budesheim. Very, very good. I honestly feel like Tim could have been placing higher at a few shows he did earlier this year, but I'm pretty sure he is very happy with his second place. Tim will be going on to the Chicago Pro, and hopefully he can finally get that pro win. Now in third place, to the far left, very good version of Robin Strand. Robin was 4th in Toronto, he was 3rd place here. He's becoming more and more of a household name. Robin always brings crazy conditioning, but Robin is a guy that doesn't necessarily have the best structure, so I think all he can really do is just add more size. Now 4th place to the far right is Hassan Kalete. Some of you guys may not be familiar with him, but he was a former 212 competitor and has actually transitioned very well to the men's open bodybuilding class. And excuse me if my voice was cracking a little bit, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys may be wondering what happened to Beef Stewart Sutherland. And Stewart did put out a statement. Shout out to Buys and Tries on Instagram for making this easier for me to present. And Stewart said, "It's frustrating, but stuff happens. Lesson learned. I'm not doing Chicago though. No point. I'm not going to look any better, and it's a deeper show. Done for the season. Time to rest." And I honestly can definitely see where Stewart is coming from. Honestly, when I'm looking at him from show to show, there isn't many things I can say he can improve. Stewart needs more detail in his physique, which will probably come with more muscle maturity. And I mean, he's an open class bodybuilder. I mean, he could add more size, but Stewart does have a decent amount of size. Now, taking a look at him at the Vancouver Pro, I don't think he was terribly off, but he did finish in 5th place at this show. But Stu's coach, Blue Taylor, said that Stu's physique just doesn't respond well after being in prep for a while, hence why they didn't have the best look at Vancouver. But Stewart will be back next year. Now next up, we have a recent update from our current reigning Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford, training back in the gym. And Derek has actually been a little bit quiet when it comes to physique updates. He's still putting out the YouTube videos, still training like an absolute animal ahead of this year's Olympia, but not many physique updates. I guess as we get closer to the show, the champ is just locking it in more and more and getting tunnel vision towards that Mr. Olympia title. But let me know in the comment section below. Still a couple of months to go. Where do you guys stand on Derek Lunsford going into this year's But Derek is without a doubt still the favorite to win the title this year, being the current reigning champ, being coached by Honey Rambod, and Derek has not competed since last year's Olympia. He's basically had a full year off to improve. Excited to see what the champ is going to bring. Now let's switch over to Nick Walker, who is looking to win this year's Olympia title, and as I've said numerous times, at the least get a 3rd place, knocking out Samson Dowda. Nick is looking great going into this year's and I think doing the New York Pro was a big benefit for Nick Walker, not only for him having a warm-up show following that hamstring injury, but following New York, I don't think Nick really ballooned up. It looks like since New York, he's pretty much been within striking distance, which should make this year's Olympia prep a lot easier. Watch out for the mutant. Now in the next update of the day, at about 4 weeks out from the Texas Pro, we have footage of Andrew Jacked rowing 150 kg dumbbells. Some people may say this is crazy to be doing at 4 weeks out, but he is the man, the myth, the Mona Lisa. And the internet has been somewhat going crazy over the image on the right of how massive Andrew Jacked looks next to William Bonac. I'm excited to see what Andrew is going to bring to Texas. For a little while, we were worried about if he was even going to do the show because he wasn't really posting any updates, wasn't really talking about it, but Andrew is confirmed to be doing Texas. Now, next up, I did want to talk about this image of Big Ramy that a lot of people are also talking about because look at the size of his arms. People are worried about, is Ramy going to do this year's Olympia? And if he does, how is he going to look? And I don't want to dive into it too much because this is just an image of Ramy doing incline press, but it's not looking good. I mean, it's not looking like Ramy is going to compete looking at his physique. And if he does compete, I'm not really sure how well he's going to do. But you guys can let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on this. Again, I don't really want to dive too deep into it, but it's possible Ramy will not be at this year's And switching over to 212, I did want to briefly review the Atlanta Pro that happened this past weekend. Well, that was won by none other than Kareth Bajo, and we had Bo Lewis finishing in second place. So Kareth is currently top 4 in the world. He took second place in New York to Ole Crivy, and in Atlanta, he finally gets his qualification for this year's O. Kareth is looking to move up at least one spot from their 4th place placing. Now, I was very impressed with what Bo Lewis brought to the stage, as you guys can see from this back double bicep. The main critique with Bo has just been the size of the legs, especially from the front, and that is still something he can work on. But from the side and from the back, legs look pretty good. Hopefully we get to see Bo in Chicago as he looks for that Olympia qualification. And last but not least, I did want to talk about a recent guest posing from our current reigning 212 Olympia champion, Keone Pearson. And Keone looks incredible here. Keone's physique is honestly really similar to Derek Lunsford's physique in my personal opinion. Now, seeing those recent updates of Sean Clarita gives a little bit more excitement to the 212 division, because Sean looks like he's not going to be very easy to beat. And Keone is definitely the favorite, but hopefully Sean can make it hard for him this year, give us a pretty good show. Now, let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this legendary bodybuilder. And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And if you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.